You call the meeting to order. Pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Mr. Janowick?
Here.
Mr. Kometz?
Present.
Mr. Moran?
Here.
Mr. DeYoung?
Here.
Mr. Paradiso is absent. Chief Flores?
Here.
Chief Leduc?
Here.
Mr. Schilling, liaison?
Here.
Attorney Decker?
Here.
And Katie Shapansky for the Clerk Treasurer's Office?
Okay, oath of office. First, do I be Police Officer Dustin Wortman?
Yeah, you just want to face, just stand here and face our out here in front.
I, Dustin Wardman,
Dustin Portman,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Indiana,
the Constitution of the State of Indiana,
and the ordinances of the Town of St. John,
and the ordinance of the Town of St. John,
as a police officer,
as a police officer,
and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties as a police officer,
that I will
that I will well and faithfully
well and faithfully
discharge the
discharge
duties
the duties
as a police officer
as a police officer
for the Town of St. John
for the Town of St. John,
in the State of Indiana,
in the State of Indiana,
fairly, impartially, and to the best of my ability.
fairly, impartially, to the best of my ability.
Congratulations again.
Yeah, you can just sign three of them, yeah, that's fine. So you all aware Dustin comes to us from Chicago Heights Police Department. We spent how many years with them? 8 years, so he's got a lot of experience, to say the least. So we're looking forward to having him. Hopefully we'll get him trained pretty quick and have him boots on the ground within a month or so. If things go okay as far as his training and all that, see how good he does, so. Yeah, so we're excited to have him. This will be our 24th officer, so congratulations. There you go, you're a good image. All right.
Okay, next we'll have oath of office for firefighter EMT Lindsay Kuzbel, am I correct?
You want to do photos after this, or?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
One big happy family photo.
If not, I mean, yeah.
I, Lindsay Kuzbel, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Indiana, and that I will faithfully, impartially, and diligently discharge all my duties as firefighter EMT of the Town of St. John, Lake County, Indiana, according to law and to the best of my ability. Congratulations. Thank you.
I'm gonna give Lindsay her badge, but traditionally in the fire service, we have someone badge her, so I'm gonna invite her dad, Jerome, up here. Lindsay's badge 27. Lindsay comes to us from Lake Hills Fire Department. Here you go, sir. Congratulations. Thank you. Don't stick her. That won't really want to. Take two of them, if you like. Congratulations, Lizzie.
Chief, I believe you wanted to grab some pictures. huh?
Yeah, you wanna get a couple photos? You want me to take one as your family? Thank you. Thank you guys.
Get us out of here.
You guys want to be in the background, or you want?
No.
I didn't think so, so I was.
Last time you took my picture was hanging in the post office. So.
You're still in it, Rich. Okay. All right. Sure.
One, two, three. Got it. Thanks.
And one with all of our guys, please.
I'll take it.
Kevin, can you take a picture? I will. Here's mine. No, it's the town phone. All right, squeeze in, boys.
Good picture, man.
I'm gonna get a little closer so I got to show you on this, so.
You see that part?
Be quiet.
Shoot at the ceiling.
Yeah. Thank you all for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, we'll get everyone. We'll get all of So we go at the same time, guys, then we'll do one for everybody. Firefighters. Yeah, that's firefighter.
Kevin, you want me to take some and send them to you?
Can you get winners and Reggie's one?
Need you to double fist, is that okay?
I'll do my best.
Thank you.
All right, ready? All right. And one more.
we want just like Hills? It's up to you. Do Lake Hills and then we'll come back here. Guys, yeah, we'll do one for Lake Hills and then one for.
Shane, you're confused. Scoot in this way, just this, there you go, good. All right. Perfect. I don't know whose this phone is, but I'll, okay. All right, perfect. Kevin, I'll send you the ones I got.
Oh, just me? Oh, one more to pack.
Yeah, seriously.
Dad, you wanna help? Yeah, sure.
I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
You guys gotta like scoot in just like a little bit.
Yeah.
All right, better.
Hang on, one more.
One more.
I know, I'm looking at that one.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you.
Congrats, Lindsay.
All right, to continue on, I need a motion for the approval of minutes for our January 17th, 2022 board meeting.
So moved.
Mr. Kometsa, any second?
Second.
Pat Moran, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Monthly reports, fire department.
All right, for the month of January, we had a total of 137 patient contacts. 71 of those patients were ALS1, 2 were ALS2, 14 were BLS. 67% of our contacts were town residents, 33% were not. We continue to transport the vast majority of our patients to Franciscan Dyer at 44%, followed closely by Franciscan Crown Point, and then Monster Community. For the fire side of things, we had a total of 183 requests for service. We had 1 inside the Crown Point district of St. John, 10 inside the Dyer. Our lion's share, 159 inside the town of St. John address. We had 8 in our contracted area of the township, and 16 requests for mutual aid.
Yeah. Chief Flores?
All right, from January 1st, 2022, it should be through January 31st, 2022, the members of the St. John Police Department logged 20,820 miles and responded to 563 law incidents. The investigation of these incidents led to 16 arrests with 21 charges being filed. There were 147 traffic citations issued along with 186 written warnings for a total of 333 citations being issued during the month. Vehicle thefts totaled 0, other thefts 4,733, and recovered property was 0. That's it.
Okay, old business. Fire chief.
Staffing update, I'll kind of just cover right now. We sworn Lindsay in. We have 1 hole left. I'll talk a little bit that further down in my new business. And general orders update, I hope to have I got a lot of your guys' feedback. I hope to have something to you guys here within the next week for you to revise again and see what else we have. Thank you.
Chief, with that staffing update, how many is left on the list?
Currently, we have 4 left on the list.
We're still up to new business.
All right, I'll go ahead with the new business. So these are more of a few things are a matter of just information sharing. I did turn into the town council 3 bids for making our bedroom upstairs into separate sleeping quarters. So we're taking the 1 room upstairs, making the 3 separate sleeping quarters so we could separate our male and female part-timers, because right now it's open air and not really any separation. That's going to come to the town council for approval in the form of an RTP at their meeting next Wednesday, I believe. The next thing is going to staffing. I'm also going to turn into the council some appropriation transfers. So last 2 years, we actually looked at our use of part-time, how many part-time shifts were filled, and we found out there was a lot of shifts that were not filled. So we have one position when we moved Deputy Chief Gillette up that wasn't filled to the 4. So I'm asking to move an appropriation to really cover his spot, but taking out of the part-time monies. That will come in front of the council that time as well on Wednesday. And then in the 5-year plan, we have a money for a new chief squad. We looked at a Ford F-150 today. The squad that I'm currently driving has 98,000 miles on it. It's a 2012, so we're pretty due for it. And that's also going to come in front of the council on Wednesday.
Okay, you don't need any motions or approvals from us at this point?
I don't think so. Maybe just information sharing, or if you guys want to.
If you guys want to give a recommendation, you know, especially for the transfers of funds, you know, so that
All right,
the council knows that either you guys are favorable for it or unfavorable.
well, that I would expect maybe for number 2 also. So I ask for a motion to have appropriation for transfer for the full-time. If I can get a motion for that.
I'll make that motion.
Pat Moran, second.
I'll second it.
Rob Kometz, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And then we need a favorable recommendation for a new chief squad for the fire department.
I'll make that motion.
Stevie Young made a motion, second.
You're driving a,
2012 Chevy Tahoe.
okay, so the difference, going for a
So-
pickup truck, is that personal preference, or?
No,
is that
it's really
for
what's
utility?
available. So and utility. The new chief squad, we have an opportunity to have it down at FDIC. So a company has offered to put on all the lights for free, and we're working on getting the rollout tray at a discounted price and decaling at discounted price because it will be at the big conference down in Indy in April.
Okay, you still need a second, don't I?
Second.
Pat Moran, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, police department, chief.
All right, just wanted to update you, gentlemen, in regards to our Canine unit status. Officer Adams is the handler for Match. And Match, unfortunately, has developed, it's like a genetic disease, correct, Shane? Yes. So basically, I'm sure you guys saw at the last meeting when him walking around, his hind legs kind of give it out on him. And it's not curable. It was unexpected. So it's to the point now where if Match lays around for a long period of time, he basically has no use of his legs until he starts moving around again. And it gets better as he's moving around, but as time goes on, from what Officer Adams told me, is the disease progresses, it'll eventually get to his head where he has no control of his body at all. So unfortunately, we're going to have to probably retire him very soon, because we don't want to have him out here and get him hurt. You know, we're not sure how much longer he's got, so we're looking to retire him, so that way he can spend the rest of his time with his family that he has here. So we're looking to replace Canine Match. We raised already, with grants and fundraisers, we got about $7,000 that we raised so far. That's about almost halfway there. It's $14,500 to replace him. So I drafted a letter and sent it to the council, being that we didn't plan on replacing him this year, so we didn't work it into the budget. Being we weren't sure that was going to happen. We were hoping to try to get this year out of him, but it doesn't look like that's going to go through. So I sent a letter to the council asking if they would be willing to help us out with the remainder of the funding. That way we can get Match replaced. There's a class starting in spring. So I'd like to have, Officer Adams in that, and that way we can get our second dog back again. So basically, I was just looking for, as long as you guys would add a favorable recommendation to the council for that, so we can move forward.
Okay. I need a motion for favorable recommendation for the police department to be able to have funds to purchase the new canine.
I'll make that motion.
Have a motion from Rob.
I'll second it.
Pat, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. We've been in talks with the council as well, too, as far as the CARES Act funding that they have, that they got from the federal government. The town got $4.2 million from the federal government that has to be spent by the end of 2025. So part of that funding, they could use towards public safety for police and fire. And we've been in talks with the councils along with the fire department, too, as far as adding additional manpower. And we've had these discussions before as far as our staffing levels, on how low they are and how we need people bad. We need more officers. So my goal is to get it to where we have 3 officers, a minimum at all times. Right now, there are several times we're working with 2 based on personal days, vacations, if somebody calls off, or training, it drops us down to 2. So that worked years ago, not anymore for the size of the town that we have. So in order for me to do that and to get it to where it's 3 officers all the time, I need at least 4 officers. I know it's pretty expensive. It's very expensive to do that, but I put figures together and forwarded it to the council as far as how much it would cost for 3, 4, and 5 officers. So they have that, and I shared those figures with a couple of you gentlemen as well, too. So I'm looking, so basically the town, once that 2025 comes up, they have to pick up the cost of the salary and so on and so forth for the officer. So if you were to do 3 officers, it's, somewhere in the ballpark of 300-some thousand after the 2025 is over. So that's what the council will have to come up with to figure out. So
Yeah, we're working on that right now.
Yeah.
With the finance.
So I had a meeting, their department head meeting with Jerry Sweats the other day. He was there, and I guess they have their financial advisors looking at it now. So we're waiting to hear back from them as far as what we're gonna get. So any little bit will help. We're definitely, we're hurting for people bad. So hopefully, we can get something out of that. So basically, like I said, I'm looking for 4, but I'm just looking for like a favorable recommendation from the safety board that whatever we bring on, you gentlemen are okay with that, and we can move forward with that as well, too, once the council decides if they're going to give us 1, 2, or 3, whatever the
Now-
case may be.
Looking at that CARES Act, I mean, I know every community got it. Has legal looked at it and said it can be used for manning?
Yes.
Yeah, they looked at it and said it can be used for manning. What we have with our financial advisor now is to make sure that we have enough anticipated revenues to carry on from 2026.
Right.
Because after the CARES Act money's gone, then it becomes, we're gonna have to use it out of our general fund. So we have to make sure that whatever we put on, whether it's 2, 3, 4, or 5, or 6, in 2025, when the money comes off of the CARES Act, we can continue because that's a recurring cost
No,
every
I
year.
understand that. There was, I mean, depending on who interprets what where, depending on the federal funds and where it comes from, some say infrastructure only, some say others. So I haven't read the legalities of CARES Act. I just don't want to see anybody getting a trick bag of using.
Yeah, they've looked into it.
No, they have. They've
Okay.
looked into it, and you can.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, question? Actually, I would like to ask for a motion that if possible, we recommend to the council to hire 4 additional officers through the CARES Act.
I would make that motion.
We have motion from Steve DeYoung, second.
I'll second.
Pat, Rob Kometz, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Okay, under this part now, I just want to bring up that the board was made aware of some apparently inappropriate or violation of town policy comments on Facebook. At this point, we have no involvement of it. We just would expect that the chiefs of each department, when something like that occurs, they handle it appropriately and quickly.
I mean, I can just, we saw what was going on. It was an embarrassment to the community. It was an embarrassment to the town itself, but And there is plenty of case law out there that any one of you can see that the First Amendment is not going to protect you when you bring a community into it. And I would expect higher out of, whether it's part-time, full-time, or get it, I would expect a better conduct than getting into a Facebook argument about other town employees. So
Anybody else? Okay, with that, we'll go to public comment for anybody? Nobody? And then.
I do want to say, Chief, yesterday, your crew was dispatched to my parents' home, did a phenomenal job getting my mom to the hospital. So I just want to say thank you.
Okay, no public comment, and then I need a motion to adjourn.
I'll make the motion to adjourn.
By Pat, second.
Second.
By Rob, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries, meeting's adjourned. Thank you.